Who's starting?
Don't know.
You start.
No, you start.
Do you want me to start?
I'll start.
You start.
So, Matty, 2 years in the making. The latest addition to the Guru stable of rods, and probably one that I would say suits my style of fishing more than yours, and one that's a little bit closer to my heart than yours because of that. And it's the new N-Gauge Specimen rods.
4 rods in the range.
Oh.
I tell you what though, you say it suits your style of fishing. I think versatility is the main factor for these rods. We've got everything from a 1.25 pound test curve,
Which is my favourite.
It's lovely for your little bit of stalking and that kind of thing, innit?
Beautiful.
Did you take that on the little river the other week?
Do you know? Yes, I did. And do you know why it's my favourite? Is because when I get the 1.25 pound out, I know I'm going for something that I don't fish for that often, so it's a real treat.
Yeah.
So 1.25 pound, which is my favourite.
1.5 pound.
Yeah, which is middle diddle.
Yes.
1.75 pound.
Which is the top end of the dual tip. So all 3 of the lighter rods, 1.25 pound, 1.5 pound, and 1.75 pound, have actually got 2 tips. They've got the traditional specimen tip, I'm going to say.
Avon tip.
Yes.
The Avon tip.
Is that the one that's not the quiver tip?
No, the classic barbel tip, which would be like a standard normal rod, which is years ago we used to call it an Avon.
I've got that one on my Big Bertha rod today, Anna.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it comes with a quiver tip section, which has 2 quiver tips. The 1.25 pound rod has 1.5 ounces and a 2.
You're doing well, yeah? You're doing well, yeah?
Forget, but I'm not. The 1.5 pound has a 2 and a 3, and the 1.75 pound has a 3 and a 4 ounce tip. So we thought about this. I mean, like we said, they've been testing for 2 years, and in an ideal world, most people would say, well, you need a tip rod or you need an Avon rod. They can't go together. But with these dual tips, I've used them so much over the last 2 years, I've got to say that the tip section and the Avon section fit the buck section and work absolutely beautifully together. They are lovely and balanced, and like you said earlier on, versatile is the name of the game, and it just suits almost every style of fishing I can think about other than a bit of delicate float fishing.
Yes, which you'd use something else for. And I think the action of the rods, Dino, I mean, you played that barbel earlier, you could see it perfectly. That was with the Big Bertha, but they've all got that progression.
Yeah.
So they've got the playing action. You aren't pulling a hook out of a fish at all, but get to that bottom end of the rod and power kicks in on them all.
Yeah, it's a lovely all-round rod. It's a lovely all-round through action. But if you are lucky enough to hook those fish of a lifetime, then they're going to pull harder, which means that you start to engage.
See what you're doing? Yes, yes.
The sort of the back end of the rod, nearer the butt, and that's when it starts to unlock its real power. But at the same time, throughout its entire length, it's soft enough where, I mean, we're using reasonably small hooks today. It's freezing cold. We are after some barbel. I know we're dreaming a little bit, but the fact of the matter is, it's still soft enough and delicate enough where you can pull reasonably hard on small hooks and you ain't got to worry about hook pulls.
Yes, which is really important. And I think we should just talk about the 2.25, because that's the only one in the range that's not a dual tip. It's just got the one tip.
Yeah.
You've caught some really big fish on that, haven't you?
I have, various different species. I mean, it's ideal for floater fishing for specimen carp, 20s and 30s. It's perfect because all of these rods have got a slightly longer handle than what a lot of barbel rods have nowadays. It got a little bit fashionable to have a shorter handle, which is ideal on tiny little rivers if you're nicking it, like dinking it around here and there. But you come to the River Trent, or you want to do a bit of tench fishing or a bit of bream fishing or a bit of roach fishing on a feeder at range, and those tiny little handles become really cumbersome to actually cast. So
yeah,
these are really versatile, like you said, not only for rivers, but if you want to do a bit of still water fishing as well. And I said that my 1.25 pound was my favourite. I overheard you say a little while ago that you like the Big Daddy.
I do. Me and Tank came here to this very spot the other week, right? And that mud bank that you can see there, the water were lapping it. The Trent, which now looks like a lovely gentle stream compared to them, was 6 or 7 foot up from here. We've got 6 ounce leads on, 6 ounce feeders fully loaded, and I know it's got a casting weight of 150 gram, that big one.
Which is what in ounces?
It's about 5 ounce,
yeah.
But you're casting a PVA bag today and a 4 ounce lead.
Yeah.
It's got some real grunt, but still got that progressive playing action, and I really like it. I always used to come here and use a beefed up feeder rod. Now I've got a set of them, I won't do that anymore.
No. And to be fair, like I said earlier on, it suits my style of fishing because I'm a bit of an all-rounder. I'm a pleasure angler at heart, but I love my specimen fishing. I love to go to venues where I think there's going to be a chance of a big one. And you know me, I don't mess about. I always fish with gear big enough to land the biggest fish that I'm possibly ever likely to dream about. And this range of rods, if I'm absolutely honest, covers everything that I'm likely to do in a 12-month year of fishing. Like every single season, winter, spring, summer, and autumn. If they cover everything for me, they're going to cover everything for everybody else that wants to do that style of fishing. You've just got to pick the test curve and the weight that suits the venue and the style of fishing that suits you. But trust me, there is one in that range for you.